Hey ladies, I'm just turning the volume up on my phone. There we go. Okay, so obviously if you're watching this bit, you're watching the replay, so thank you very much for watching the replay. This is all about content, and I know that content is something that you struggle with. You wouldn't be watching this if you didn't struggle with content. So when it comes to creating content, it's definitely in my zone of genius. Creating content is something that I can easily do, and to be honest, I can easily help other people do it. So there are 6 key things that I truly, truly believe help you create content effortlessly. So I'm going to run through them quickly because they're easy. Really, really easy. Content is not difficult. Content is just information. It's just words and live streams and all those kind of things. That is content. Content itself is not difficult then. So the 6 things that really make it easy to write content. The first one is your ideal client. And now I'm not saying you have to have a written down ideal client avatar and she has to have a name and, you have to know like where she shops and all those kind of things. Yes, that is incredibly helpful. And I'm not going to discount that at all. But when it comes to writing your content, when it comes to your business anyway, you know who you want to work with. Whether you've got that down on paper or not, doesn't matter. You know who you want to work with. So who are they? And when you write your content, when you do your live streams, whatever it might be, talk to that specific person. So like now I'm talking to you because you're struggling with content. If I was talking to people that didn't struggle with content, 1, this live stream would be pointless. But 2, I wouldn't be saying the same things, because if you're not struggling with content, then it doesn't matter if you know who your ideal client is or not, because you're already writing. And the problem is that you're not writing content. So who is your ideal client? Is it a woman? Is it a man? Are they married? Are they single? Do they travel? Do they have kids? Do they work a 9 to 5? All of these kind of things that do shape how you talk to them. Because if you know your ideal client is a mother, then the kind of things that you talk about would be related to, like finding time when she's at home with the kids, or balancing, being at home and doing all the like chores that need to be done. Or even, if your ideal client is if your ideal client is a woman who's like 25 to 30, who right now feels like she has a job, not a career, and is struggling to find something that she can do for the rest of her life, you're not going to be talking about things like finding time around children or childcare, or isn't it awesome when you can finally have a shower by yourself and your toddler isn't banging on the door like, hey mum, let me in. You're not going to be talking about those things when it comes to your ideal client. So the first thing really is, who are they? And like I said, this isn't a make sure you write it all down. If it's in your head, that's fine, because it's ultimately your ideal client shapes your content. It shapes the examples you use, the way you talk about things, the words you use, all of these kind of things. Because depending on who your ideal client is, they'll have different challenges. They'll have different issues, they'll have different problems, and they'll have different reasons why whatever it is that is a problem is the problem. So, like I said, that is the first thing. The second thing is, what do you want to help them with? And again, you know this. And this is why I think that creating content is such a struggle for some people, because you know everything that you need to write content, but there's some kind of barrier in the way. And that's one of the things that I love about helping other people write their own content, is that when you kind of get over that barrier, you get past that problem, it isn't a problem anymore, and that problem never comes back. Because, like, I want to help people create their own content. I want to help people easily, create content that grows their Facebook group, grows their email list, helps them make sales, all of these things. Because ultimately, that is what content is for. That is how you get your message out, how you connect with your ideal client, how you tell people why they need to work with you. So, what do you help your ideal client with? And again, like I said, you know this because that is what your business is. My business as a business coach is to help other people. I've not said this out loud for a while and it does sound stupid, but as a business coach, I help other women make their businesses better. It's all about business. And that's the thing, that it isn't just about business. It's, if I said, what do you help people with? Business. That means nothing to anyone. You know what I mean? So what do you help your ideal client with? If you help your ideal client with weight loss, great. But how? What about it? Why weight loss? And those are kind of like the next two things. Once you know who your ideal client with and you know what you want to help them with, why? Why do you want to help them with that? Why are you the person to help them with that? And why? Yeah, why? What stories do you have from your past that show why you're the person? Why do you feel that, you're the best person to help them with this? What do you already know? What skills, knowledge and experience do you already have that says, I can help you with this and this is why? And these are all content. That's the thing, that content it's not some kind of magic, like words, or it's not like writing a book or anything like that. Content is information. So if I wrote a post that said, for 5 years before, like after I finished, while I was studying for my degree, because I did it distance learning part-time, while I was studying for my degree, when I bought a house, when I got married, when I had a baby, all of those things, I was still working and studying for a degree. So if you are telling me you don't have time, I don't believe you. And that is a story from my past, but it also helps to explain why I want to work with women who essentially don't make excuses. Because it's not that I don't believe in excuses. Sometimes there is always a valid reason for why things didn't get done. But writing that post and saying, I did all these things, so don't tell me you don't have time, immediately speaks to the person who says, yeah, I agree with that. Oh, hey, Maggie. It immediately speaks to that person who says, I completely agree with you, because there is always time for the things you want to make time for. And then the other people who will immediately say, well, I'm sure it's not an excuse. I don't have time there. I've got loads of things I need to do. That person is gone because I've probably annoyed them with my post. But essentially, your content filters your ideal client out. It's one of those things where people either love you or they hate you. And don't necessarily hate you, but some people will. But there are three kinds of people: the people who love you, the people who hate you, and the people in between that are a bit meh. And the people who love you, your post will get them every single time. Because like I said, there will be people who will say, oh my god, I completely agree with you. I love this and I want to know more about you. Let me come and join your Facebook group. And there are going to be people who are like, block. Because they just don't like what you have to say. And it's not that what you've said is wrong, because it's not. You can never be wrong. But it's that you've probably triggered something in them and they don't want to deal with it. And that has nothing to do with you. If you trigger somebody else, it's not your problem. It's their problem. Yeah, exactly. You're not meant for everybody, but the ones who love you really do love you. And that's the thing. That realistically, do you want to have a handful of clients who absolutely adore you, who buy everything, who do the work, who get the results, who make you feel awesome when you work with them? Or do you want hundreds of people who are like, well, yeah, I signed up for the course, but, I didn't really finish it because I couldn't be bothered. Which one do you want? So, like I said, once you know who your ideal client is, and you know what you help them with, and you, like I said, you already know these things. Why? Why are you the person to help them? Why are you, what is it about you, and what is it about doing that work, helping people with these problems that you love so much? And then how? How do you help them? And again, it is talking about, do you work with people one-to-one? Do you do a lot of group programs? How do you help them? Do you use EFT? Do you create plans for them to follow? All of these kind of things. Whatever the how is, again, it's not, we're not magicians. There's no behind the curtain secrets. People want to know how they're going to work with you. Because if you said to somebody, okay, well, I'm going to help you lose weight, what is the first question that you're going to ask? How? How are you going to help me lose weight? Because you've told me nothing, Or if somebody said to you, okay, I'm going to help you get more sales. What's the first question? How? Because people want to know the how. And again, if you say to people, I help my clients by, having laser focused one-to-one 30-minute sessions with them. That immediately tells people, if I work with you, we will have one-to-one 30-minute laser focused sessions, which is awesome. There's somebody at my door. I'm totally going to ignore it for 5 minutes. So don't be afraid of sharing the how. And again, the how helps your ideal client know that you're the person they want to work with. So the last two are really quick. Essentially, it's not just written content. Don't get stuck in that trap of all the content I create must be written down. It doesn't have to be at all. You can do videos. You can do pre-recorded videos. You can do live streams. Yes, you can do written posts, but you can do written posts that are, blog post length. You can do written posts that are just 2 sentences. You can... Images. I love images, but not, let me share a quote and tell you absolutely nothing about it. Let me just share it because isn't it motivational and inspirational? Yeah, to everyone. That has absolutely nothing to do with your ideal client. If you're going to share a quote or an image, explain why. Explain why it's important. Explain how that helps. Again, it's the why and the how. Explain why it's important. Explain how it helps your ideal client. Explain what it is about this that means so much to you that you felt the need to share it on Facebook or Instagram or Twitter or whatever. Because if you're just sharing an inspirational quote, like I said, it's that whole spray and pray marketing where if I speak to everybody, maybe somebody will be interested. But no, if you speak to everybody, nobody's interested because you're not speaking to your ideal client. So if you are going to share an image, even if it's a cup of Starbucks coffee, that, again, coffee, great. Some people love coffee, some people don't. Why is it relevant to me as, a businesswoman or a person who wants to lose weight or a busy mum who really desperately needs 5 minutes to herself? Why is it relevant? And it could be, okay, well, here is this cup of coffee, and this cup of coffee isn't just coffee. This cup of coffee, to me, is the fact that I managed to get out of the house today without my kid, and I managed to have 5 minutes to myself so I could actually think about business, or I could think about going to the gym again, or I could think about the things I need to do for work or the crap my boss needs me to do, whatever. Just why? Why are you sharing that picture? Because if it's just oh look, I went to Starbucks. Wonderful. I'm sure millions of people went to Starbucks today. Make it relevant. So, like I said, it's not just written content. Images, there's, like I said, live streams, there's pre-recorded videos, there's even audio. There's nothing stopping you, creating some kind of audio file and sharing the link to it. If you use Dropbox or Google Drive or even the Amazon's S3, you can share a link for somebody to listen to the audio. It doesn't have to be written. If you don't like to write, don't write. There's no rule that says you must write everything down. No way. If you've written a blog post, if you are a writer and you think, I've written this blog post and now I've got all of this content, but I can't post that on Facebook, it's too long, then write a post that says, hey, I've written a new blog post, this is part of it, and here's why you should come and check it out. Simple. It can be, 2 sentences, maybe a paragraph at most, and a link. That's all it needs to be. And that, by itself, is content, because it gets people to do something that takes them to more content. So, I'm getting a bit ranty here, I do apologise, but I love content, I can't help it. So the last thing is keep a copy of your content. So whether that is blog posts, Facebook posts, captions on Instagram, and the images, live streams, download the videos, all these kind of things, audio files, whatever it is, keep a copy of it, because you can use it again at a later date. If you're struggling for content, look back through everything you've written, and I've got mine in like month by month, month and week order. So mine is, like the first week of April I posted this, the second week of April this is what I posted, the third week of April I posted this, and it's all in a folder called April 2017. So at the moment I'm going back through last September and October and November's content, because that was like 5-6 odd months ago. I'm going back through and saying, oh, well, actually, that's still relevant. So I'll copy and paste it, update it a little bit, post it again. Took me 5 minutes, and I didn't need to come up with anything else, because that's the awesome thing about having a niche, knowing who your ideal client is and what you help them with and the why and the how. It doesn't change, ever. Yes, it updates, but it's the same thing. That in 5 years, people are still going to need content. Are they going to be posting it on Facebook? Maybe not. Who's to say Facebook will still be around in 5 years? Are they going to be posting it on Instagram? Again, maybe not. But at some point, somebody is going to need to communicate with somebody else. Yeah, a content folder is awesome, because, like I said, when you have a niche, eventually you're going to run out of things to talk about. And when you run out of things to talk about, that's not a bad thing. It does. It makes things so, so much easier. But also, it makes you more consistent, because you have a message. If you're sharing the same thing over and over and over again, not specifically word for word, but if you're sharing the same thing over and over again, you get known for something. And the point is to be known for something. You don't want to be, oh, there's Cass Davis, she's a business coach. Great. Well, what's different about her than everybody else? Well, I don't know. Do you want to be the health coach or the relationship coach or, the female empowerment coach what's different about you than everybody else? And if nobody knows, then there's a problem with the content that you're sharing, because you're not being specific. So like I said, when you know your ideal client, when you know what you help them with and your why and your how, that is how you become specific. That is why people will come to you, because they feel a connection with you. So having that content, keeping it and reusing it, and I would say, at least a month kind of between them, just so that it isn't like, not so that people can't remember it, but just so that time passes, because you are gonna create new content. And when the times when actually I need to post because I need to stay visible, because yes, it's great to post when you're inspired, and I 100% am all for that, writing when you're inspired and writing what comes to you. But what if you're only inspired, once a week at 2 o'clock in the morning? That's no good for anybody. That's not good for visibility. And that's not to say that you have to keep churning out content and hoping and praying that, just by posting something it will do. But keeping a record of all of those times you've been inspired. And even if it is just a case of searching back through, you can type into Facebook, like, your name and posts, and you'll find all of the posts that you've either posted or contributed to. Copy and paste them all, put them in a file. Because when you are struggling for inspiration, you could look in that file and you could see, 2 weeks ago I talked about Twitter and how, using hashtags was important. Does anything else spring to mind when I think about that now? And, it could be just one sentence. It could be one quick tip, like, like the one I posted the other day, if you're struggling on Instagram for hashtags, find 5 people who are in the same kind of niche as you with the same ideal clients and have a look at what they're using and then make a list. See what, works for you. That is a piece of content by itself, but I didn't just write, 50,000 words on it. And it doesn't have to be big, it doesn't have to be short, it doesn't have to be medium all of the time. It is whatever it is. But like I said, reusing your content, recycling it, even if it's live streams. And like one thing that I get my virtual assistant to do is to go back through all my live streams and pick out those things, like I just said, the Instagram, hashtags, all these little tips that could be individual, like one quick tip posts. Or, I could put it on Instagram as an image. It could be, the caption of the image, and I could go into detail about it. But it also then provides me like a topic list. And essentially I just keep going back through my own stuff and seeing what comes up. Because at the end of the day, like I said, having a niche, having a specific ideal client and the specific things you help them with, consistently talking about those things is how you stay consistent. It's how you stay visible. It's how you get known for something. And like I said, that's the thing. The point is to be known for 1 or 2 specific things. You don't want to be, oh, I think she's a coach. You don't want to be, oh, I think she does tapping. Great, loads of people do tapping. Again, what is it about you that you want people to know? And talk about that. If you want people to know that you don't work anymore, or you stopped working like when you had your child, like I did, or that you're lucky that you met a really great guy and now you get to live together and you can focus on your business and he'll cook for you every single day, whatever it is, talk about it. And talk about not just business or whatever is related to your business. Talk about you. Talk about the things you like to do, because it is about being a person. And that is one of the great things about live streams, that people can see you. People can see, people can see when you mess up. People can see, you can hear it when you talk, when you get excited about things. And that's the thing with a written post. Yes, you can create a sense of excitement with words, but you sound more excited in a video, because people can hear your voice. So that is kind of my 6 tips, and this, I did go on a little bit longer than I anticipated, so I apologise for that, because I kind of said this was going to be quick and it wasn't. So the 6 things is your ideal client. Who are they? And no, you don't need to write them down on paper as long as you've got them in your head. What do you help them with? Why? Why them? Why help them with those problems? How? How do you help them with those problems? How and why, again, are you the person to help them? Remember that it's not just written content. There are live streams and audios and recorded videos and images and all of these kind of things, and keep a copy of your content for future use. And like I said, it can inspire you, you can reuse it, you can just take out parts of it and, kind of piecemeal it around and make lots of content from one piece of content. There are so many different ways to reuse it and to recycle it. And yeah, that is it. Those are the 6 things that you need for easy content creation. Because you know all these things. You know who your ideal client is. You know what you want to help them with. You know why you want to help them, and you know how. The rest of it is just getting it down, either on paper or, in a video or whatever. Just get it out there. Does it have to be perfect? No. It just needs to be out there, because you are a real person and people want to work with real people. It doesn't matter if it's not polished and it's not, perfect. Like, yeah, I forget my words sometimes. Yeah, I've written posts with spelling mistakes, but who cares? Not me. So if you've got any questions about creating content, feel free to post them in the comments now. If you're watching the replay, again, feel free to post your questions in the comments and I'll get back to you ASAP. So while I'm waiting for any comments, because I know that there's a little bit of a delay, if you haven't seen my post from this morning, I know it might be early for some of you, I've got an amazing offer right now. If you have wanted to work with me one-to-one, but you know that 3K for 90 days is out of your price range, I have got something that is less than $500 for 31 days with me, PM me for details, because I am not sharing the details on Facebook. It is only for 3 people, so if you're interested, PM me and I'll send you all the details. So, it doesn't look like there's any questions or any comments, so like I said, if you're watching the replay, post them and I'll get back to you. But if not, if you watched live, thank you very much for watching live, and if you caught the replay, thank you very much for watching the replay. Bye, ladies.